You all know that I really like the DJI Pocket 3 camera. It is definitely one of the best I've used in recent years. And you also know that I love to make my footage look cinematic, it looks more professional from this little guy right here by using DJI's own filters. But now there are better solutions, and I mean way better solution. Hi, it's Jimmy Cheng here from RED35 and welcome back once again to my channel. And I must apologize that I haven't been posting videos lately because I'm super busy with my full-time work, which for my own production company for both stills and videos. So I just kind of push everything aside a little bit. But yeah, I think I have a little bit of time today and I want to go through one particular product that I really find it interesting and surprisingly useful from Freewell. And this is their latest professional filter kit for the DJI Pocket 3. As I said, I really like the DJI Pocket 3. But if you're just using the camera on its own without any other accessories, you are only going to get, at best, some standard looking footage. So if you want to take it up a notch, make your footage look more professional and cinematic, you will start having to think about using some filters, especially ND filters to cut down the light, because the DJI Pocket 3's camera has a fixed aperture, and that means it doesn't change anything. And in a bright sunny day, you're going to have a problem when you're going too fast, and that means that you're going to have a lot of motion jittering. So if you want to have the nice, smooth, cinematic motion blur, you have to cut down the light intensity by using some of these ND filters right here. So the ND filter set that I used in Japan was the DJI's own filter set, the ND 1664 and 256, which is fine, absolutely fine. I'm not really complaining at all. However, there are a couple of problems which I'm going to talk a little bit about later. So if you want to take up your video as a very serious production tool, you would need to start thinking about using some of these stuff to make sure that your footage is as cinematic as possible. But today we're going to concentrate on Freewell. Well, Freewell's filter set, as you can see, is a much bigger set simply because it gives you a lot more than just the ND set. So Freewell's filter set consisting with 3 different strengths of ND filters, just like the DJI, but it also comes with a macro lens. Yeah, you heard that right. That's a macro lens and also an ultra wide, just a little bit like the DJI version, but I'm going to talk a little bit about in detail in just a second. But more interestingly, to me at least, is the 1.1 times anamorphic lens. With the anamorphic attachment, you are getting the optical treatment for the Pocket 3. Amazing. You are getting the same blue horizontal flare. You're getting the curvature on the edges of the frame. You are getting everything coming out from the big camera, just on a tiny little optical attachment. This is amazing. I think this alone is worth the price tag itself because I like anamorphic stuff, and that's great. The build quality is phenomenal. It's full metal with glass elements, so there's nothing I can complain in terms of the design. There are a couple of things I may want to talk about, however, is first of all, is the 1.1 times squeeze, which may not be everybody's taste, because for anyone who used anamorphic lenses would know that they're usually getting 1.33, 1.5, 1.6 times squeeze. You're not getting that at all. You're getting a 1.1 times, just a tiny squeeze. To me, it's not a problem. You know, I can work with any sort of aspect ratios, depending on how you frame it and things like that. You know, I'm okay with that. The only thing I would say that is Freewell has done all they can because of the actual aspect ratio of the sensor on the Pocket 3 is a 16:9, just like what I said in my review video, and that was the restriction of how the Pocket 3 was designed. They're using a slightly different sensor right there. So for me, I think it's okay. You know, like Freewell can't do anything about the squeeze ratio because unless they're getting 4x3, you're not getting anything bigger than 1.1. So that's credit to them. You know, I wouldn't say it's a flaw, anything like that. You know, if you don't like 1.1 times squeeze, then don't get this. But if you do like the anamorphic effect, like the blue horizontal flare, the general anamorphic look, yeah, this is good enough. This is really, really good there. And another bonus is that you do get to use ND filters in front of the actual anamorphic lens itself. Fantastic. Because unlike the DJI lenses, they can't use ND filter in front of the optical lens, which is a puzzle to me because that's kind of defies the purpose of, you know, having the ND filter sets. You know, you can use the ND filter on the Pocket 3 without any optical attachment. When you attach the DJI's own versions of ultra wide, and you can't use it on top of it. I don't know why, you know. So in Japan, when I was there, you know, I found that every time I use the ultra wide, which a lot, and I couldn't get any proper motion blur. You know, I got skip frame just because sometimes the light is so bright, I can't cut down any lights in front of it. You know, I just have to live with it. That's the only downfall with the ultra wide attachment from DJI's because you just can't use anything else on top of it. So Freewell filters does allow you to do that on the anamorphic and also the other two lenses as well. And the other two lenses is obviously the macro, or I would say more precisely the close-up lens and the ultra wide. Right, let's talk a little bit about the macro lens itself, or the close-up lens. It's an interesting lens because it does allow you to do really close focusing to something that literally an inch away from the sensor. It's almost like a proper macro lens from photography. However, I do find that once you attach the macro lens on the Pocket 3, I find that the autofocus doesn't work too well. You just have to kind of physically move the Pocket 3 to adjust the focusing. That's a little bit annoying, but it does give you a very different perspective when it comes to filming with the Pocket 3. So again, I'm not really complaining. It's not something I use a lot, but if you want to mix and match a little bit of the footage in an environment, for instance, you can now with this macro attachment. But what I'm more interested about is the ultra wide. Right, when I first got these filter sets right here, I took it out and tried to use the ultra wide lens on the Pocket 3. And every time I attached the ultra wide attachment on the Pocket 3, I found that it wasn't working. It's all blur, and I don't know why. Because I just skipped the instruction when it came that came with the filter sets there. Because who needs an instruction for filters, right? You just slap it on and it works, right? And yeah, that's my mistakes. Then I learned it the hard way. So it didn't work on its own. You need to actually use the macro or the close-up lens as the base layer, and you attach the ultra-wide attachment in front of the macro lens to make it work, to make it an ultra-wide lens. So you need to use two of them together. I didn't know that. So I got home and I did flip through the menu at the end, and I thought, oh, I need to attach two lenses together. That's why it's got 2-in-1. Oh, there you go. There you go. But once you do that, you do get a very, very good quality ultra wide. So that is amazing. You know, that is something that I didn't expect. The quality is actually better. You know, I would say better than the DJI own ultra wide lens. The edges is seemingly quite a bit sharper than the DJI, and the central sharpness is on par, if not a bit better as well. It just crazy optical quality coming from these little two guys here. Yeah, again, nothing to complain about. And once more, you can use the ND filter in front of ultra wide, which is what I wanted with the DJI set. You know, so that's well done. That's really good. So now that means that you can use ND filters with all their lens attachment in this particular set right here. So you can create something that's truly cinematic because you can use the correct motion blur in all sorts of circumstances here. Fantastic. Well done, Freewell. There's only one complaint perhaps with this set is that the magnet is just not as strong as the DJI version. I would like it to be a little bit stronger simply because, you know, I have a tendency of kind of bang into something and then the filter would just fall off. That didn't happen with the DJI. You know, I did knock it a couple of times and it just didn't come off. The Freewell, however, will. And I'm not joking, especially their ND filters. The ND filters got just two very thin strip of magnets there, making it very easy to detach, that's sure, but also very easy to fall off. And a little bit of a bang, it could just come off, right out and drop on the floor. You might lose them, or you might crack it, you might scratch it. So that's something that I would prefer to be a little bit stronger. And I don't mind a thicker rim, so you can have a thicker magnet there to make sure that have got proper secure attachment to the actual camera itself. And that will be my only complaint, or maybe even a negative for this filter set here. But other than that, I think there is nothing else like this on the market, especially from an anamorphic point of view, and also the versatility by using ND filters in all sorts of lens attachment for the Pocket 3. So if you want something professional, if you want something that looks good for your filmmaking with the Pocket 3, I would think this is probably the only option. Look, this is not a sponsored video, and they did send this to me. I could say all sorts of stuff. Like I said, I already complained about the magnet, but in terms of optical quality wise, they're as good as DJI, if not better. And the anamorphic, well, you simply can't get anything like this on the market right now. This is the only option. So amazing. I like it. I really, really do enjoy using the filter sets right here. So would I recommend it? Hell yes, I would. And so long you can live with it, weak magnets. So just be careful how you use the filters and on the DJI cameras here. For some certain circumstances, you may still want to use the DJI because it's stronger magnet. So you can still get them. I'm not saying you stop buying this stuff. It's good to have a few options, right? Just in case one, let's say, disappears somehow, you can use the other one as a backup. Okay. Anyway, that's it for my review on the Freewell professional cinematic film set filters for the Pocket 3 camera. And let me know your thoughts about this, because I really genuinely like that. Like you see in the footage here, I think they're fantastic. They're really good. And worth the money, definitely. And don't forget that I'm going to continue exploring a lot of options for the Pocket 3, simply because this is a great camera, like I said at the beginning of the video. I haven't seen anything this versatile and this good for a long time, and especially for the size. I take this guy here everywhere, even like going on the photo shoot. I just keep it with me, just in case I want to do some vlogs or something like that, like instantly, you got this, and the mics, and just, you get the professional setup there. So with this little setup here, I can get even more stuff with professional results. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, until next time, I'll see you all very soon. Stay tuned. Bye for now.
When you touch it with your hands, it feels cold, it's not.
I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you. I see a reflection.
Did you find anything? Did you find anything?
Not yet, not yet. Okay, you can help, Go find.